So guys, I've been doing a lot of clips in reference to this subject matter as of recently, and as of right now, this clip that I'm about to play you guys is from a young lady, 19-year-old Chole Cole, who is a detransitioner, who's basically speaking before Congress about her situation and how her parents and other medical specialists had coerced her into doing certain things which a lot of us would deem as alarming or disturbing. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and play the clip and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on it. Let's go.
So what message do I want to bring to American teenagers and their families? I didn't need to be lied to. I needed compassion. I needed to be loved. I needed to be given therapy to help me work through my issues, not affirm to my delusion that by transforming into a boy, it would solve all my problems. We need to stop telling 12-year-olds that they were born wrong, that they are right to reject their own bodies and feel uncomfortable with their own skin. We need to stop telling children that puberty is an option, that they can choose what kind of puberty they will go through, just so they can choose what clothes to wear or what music to listen to. Puberty is a rite of passage to adulthood, not a disease to be mitigated. Today, I should be at home with my family celebrating my 19th birthday, and instead I'm making a desperate plea to my elected representatives. Learn the lessons from other medical scandals like the opioid crisis, to recognize that doctors are human too, and sometimes they are wrong. My childhood was ruined along with thousands of detransitioners that I know through our networks. This needs to stop. You alone can stop it. Enough children have already been victimized by this barbaric pseudoscience. Please let me be your final warning.
You guys heard what she said. There's thousands who went through a similar situation. Obviously, there's studies done on these things as well. But something that she said that was powerful was you have so many people, including parents and these medical professionals, affirming this delusion, as she said. And basically, parents are going along with it, doing these things to their children. Puberty is something natural. It is a point of confusion for a lot of children. They're discovering their bodies. Things are happening to their bodies. Of course, it's not going to be like, oh man, you're going to wonder about certain things. But to basically try to stop it all together, this is bananas. This is crazy. And if any of you guys, and some of you guys may call it propaganda, with Matt Walsh, he had that documentary, What is a Woman? And in this documentary, he spoke with several different people, different politicians, different gender affirming surgeons that he spoke with. He spoke with transgenders that basically were against gender affirming surgery and transitioning surgery. And these things are something serious. Chole here went through a situation. Obviously, she's going through confusion with the media and everything telling you. She tried to talk to her parents about it. Her parents took her to a specialist at the age of 12, going into 13. And they diagnosed her with gender dysphoria based off what she's saying. And they put her on testosterone and puberty blockers, which is also talked about in that documentary, What is a Woman?, where Matt Walsh was talking to this gender affirming surgeon about this whole thing of trying to stop nature altogether. This happened at the age of 13. This is a little girl at the age of 13 who doesn't even know who she is yet, is just now entering into womanhood. And by the age of 15, she already has a double mastectomy, has her breast removed.
After I got my first phone at 11, I started using Instagram and Snapchat. I started seeing a lot of content that was either feminist or centered around the LGBT, oftentimes very sexual in nature. I was seeing very idealized images of adult women's bodies that I would often compare myself to, and I felt like I couldn't really match up. I started to develop quite a negative view of growing from a girl into a woman. At school, I found it difficult to make and keep friends. I was often an outcast, especially from other girls. I hit puberty at quite a young age. I started getting comments on my body from my other female peers. I started to think like, well, I'm not like other girls. I might just be better off as a boy. And eventually I landed on, well, I guess it just makes sense that I'm actually just not a girl at all. I'm just a boy. I was 12. I was around 12 or 13. I fell pretty easily into this. I was an impressionable kid. I didn't realize at the time just how much of a role it played in me eventually deciding to get a mastectomy. By the time I did, it was far too late. When I started the blockers, I did have a bit of a honeymoon period starting on testosterone. My hair got thicker, my eyebrows got thicker, my jawline got sharper, and I started to develop a lot more muscle. But it started to cause me some problems physically and emotionally. I started experiencing a lot more anxiety and just a lot more negative emotions in general. I was 15 years old. I was in my sophomore year when I decided that I wanted to undergo a double mastectomy. I got more and more nervous. I'd say the regret started to creep in a little bit about a few months after my surgery. But it wasn't until I had taken a psychology class and learned a little bit more about child development and breastfeeding that I would no longer be able to breastfeed. At the time, I was just a 15-year-old. I realized that I had taken so much more for myself than my breasts. I was allowed to make this decision at far too young of an age. If I were to go back in time and speak to my 12-year-old self, I would let her know that she's worth so much more than her body and the way that she presents herself and the way that she thinks other people perceive her. And I don't think anything else in my life has affected me nearly as much as transitioning and stopping transitioning has. But now that I've seen it all, I just can't imagine operating on a kid like that in good conscience.
This is still a child. Even as a boy, as a man, you're developing these feelings for the opposite sex. And women, same thing. You're developing these feelings for the opposite sex. Even if it is for the same sex, you're going as far as saying that you need to do this to your body because something's wrong, as she said. And as you grow older, you realize that it's a mistake. And how could this have happened? She even is at the point where she wants to have kids. You don't even know if you're going to be able to breastfeed. She talks about cancer, these things leading up to this. And a lot of times they coerced her and coerced the parents into getting this done in order to prevent the child from auto-deleting, for lack of a better term. I believe the exact words she said that they said to her parents is, do you want a daughter that is no longer here? Or do you want a transgender son? Basically using these fear tactics, these scare tactics. You as a parent, you have a responsibility to protect your child. And you're watching all this media and this leftist stuff that's going on that's making you think that this is the way to go. And here she is. A lot of times we know that getting this surgery does not fix auto deletion, guys. You guys know this. And this happens a lot. And it's unfortunate that parents have to go through this stuff. How far is this going to go? And the Biden administration, as we know, has spearheaded this. Obama started it, but the Biden administration has spearheaded this and basically has full support. So we need to get back. America needs to come back into protecting their children. Letting parents, and stop all this fear mongering. Let the parents decide what's best for their children and not have someone tell them something's wrong with your child when it should have been therapy to get down to the bottom of how it is that the child is feeling. Therapy is necessary no matter what age you are. But this stuff is going too far. It's going way too far. And I'm glad that she's speaking out against this. And like she said, she has several other contemporaries that feel the same way as her. How far is this going to go? Like, seriously. I don't know, guys, but let me know what you guys think. There is this agenda, and the people that are pushing and wanting to see children like this, it is demonic, in my opinion. Just my thoughts. Let me know. Comment below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit me up on Linktree to book a one-on-one with yours truly. Purchase all my books, merch, t-shirts. Helps us support the channel. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. With that being said, much blessings and abundance. Stick around for the next video that's going to pop up on the screen below. That's where I'm going to see you guys at. This is your favorite everything. This is Wisdom. I'm out of here. Peace.
Yeah. 50 Cent. 50. Part 2.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
Can't forget Tony.
50.
UK.